Game is kicked off. We're here a little late today, but we're here to discuss Bijan, Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, and others that may or may not be trade candidates for you as you walk into the final week of trading. 80% of you, based on a poll that I did on my own live stream, maybe even more than 80%, can still trade, which was a remarkable number. I was thinking it was more about 50%, but it does appear that 80% of you, and in some cases, a lot of you have 100% of your 4, 5, 6, 7 leagues that allow you to trade. Algier to the moon? No. No, Jose. Algier definitely could see an increase in value, but none of the news speaks to Algier going to the moon, bro. Bijan Robinson is both a hold and a sell. Jefferson is both a hold and a sell, just in a side note. London is probably a sell more than any sort of combo of hold or sell. Jacobs is a hold. Bijan's a hold or a sell. Jamar Chase is a hold or a sell. Meaning if you can't get what you want, what you're trying to target, you don't trade Jamar Chase. You're not panicked to the point where you're just dumping them for pennies on the dollar. Bijan Robinson's still a monster. He's still a top 5 running back in the National Football League. He's still a top 5 fantasy football running back. You're not trying to get rid of Bijan Robinson if you can't get fair market value. But is there a world where it's time 4th and 4, Raiders make a stop? Let's hope we get an Ashton Genty show tonight. But if you can get out of the Bijan Robinson game in a crafty, creative way, it might be time to try and strike upon such a strategy. We're going to break down that and more as talk about this game as it's going on. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
A lot of you can trade. And I've concocted a board of players to potentially go after and try and acquire. On the left side of the screen, you have the sell London, most likely not buy London, not hold London, sell London on the left side of the screen. For Rice, for Buka, for Dowdle, those are just options. Some of the best options that I've come up with so far, and we've come up with so far in the previous live stream, and just spitballing it. Back to pass is Gino. Gino throws it. Successful catch by our boy Brock Bowers. Bowers already starting off tonight. I want to stay on fire. That's one catch. But nice start. Hold or buy Bijan. I'm sorry, that should be sell. Hold or sell, not buy. Let me fix that. Hold or sell Bijan. That is a sell. You're not buying. I mean, you could buy Bijan too. Buying Bijan's not crazy. Oh no, they twisted Genty up. Be okay. That looked awful on his knees. He's fine, I think. God, he got swarmed before he even touched there. Oh man, thank God his leg escaped that. He's fine. He got twisted up like a pretzel. He looked like Gumby for a second. God, they got to give him different play calls. What is this trash they give Genty? They need to get him in open space. They need to throw to him. They need to do some okay, he ran a nice. Okay. Second and went like 7. Third and 7, something like that. All right, back to the board. So Bijan is a hold if you can't get enough. He's a sell if you can get creative. One thing I'm trying to acquire is Rice and Buka on the cheap right now. So Bijan for Rice and something would make some sense. Hold or sell Jamar Chase, same thing as Bijan. Rice for Chase straight up would honestly be an acceptable trade for me. Buka plus something if you can pull that off, and then sell or hold Chase Brown, Dowdle, Buka, those all apply for me. We got a drop back here from Gino and almost sacked. Gets the ball away. Who is that? It's not Bowers. Is that Michael Mayer? Michael Mayer. Dallas Cowboys stop. 3 and out. 2 3 and outs back to back. Awesome. Awesome game. Cool. Big gulps. All right. See you later. We'll talk more about what to do. Now, if anybody's wondering why are we panicking on London, why are we panicking on Bijan, why are we panicking on Chase Brown? Number one, Jamar Chase spitting on another player in the National Football League, Jalen Ramsey specifically, has triggered a 1-game suspension for Jamar Chase, which has in turn triggered probably an L for the Bengals on Sunday. Now, anything can happen, but this is going to have a trigger effect that potentially makes Joe Burrow not come back. It also could put, in my estimation, my guesswork, in my humble opinion, a very higher likelihood that even Flacco doesn't escape next contest, which then puts Browning back in position, which puts Chase Brown back in the cellar, which puts, Jamar Chase's optimism, his drive, his determination, his ability to even want to try or play good football if he's not getting the football properly. There's a lot of reasons why we're panicking on Jamar Chase and Chase Brown. But again, as you see on the screen, no one is saying to not hold Chase Brown. As you can see, sell or hold. It's right here. Sell or hold, sell or hold, sell or hold. Only London is like the straight sell without much consideration of holding, as long as you're getting something that we think is deemed somewhat equivalent. But when you look at a player like Bijan, without Penix Jr., he's getting 8-man fronts. Without London and Penix Jr., he's getting 8-man fronts. And when Cousins is back there, Bijan does not run and breakaway long runs. He ends up getting maybe more volume, but it's going to be less efficient work. He's not going to live near the red zone or end zone anymore, so he's not going to get touchdowns quite as frequently. And if he doesn't break away long runs, it's hard for him to control his own destiny in terms of the touchdown category. And so Bijan almost certainly, like if I had to throw a number on it, it'd be like a 20% decrease in maybe fantasy football value, or 10%, something like that. It could be more, it could be less. No one's saying he doesn't exactly play the same way. They run the ball, they figure things out. Kirk Cousins is healthier this year than last year. Maybe with some preparation, he actually looks efficient to a degree. So that's why you're holding. There's a hold and a sell. There's not just a sell. There's not just a sell next to his name. There is a hold or sell. So if anybody goes out there and sells him for pennies on the dollar, and then things look pretty solid and copacetic in this next contest, you can't come back and blame your boy Smitty, because I'm trying to tell you, I'm ringing the caution bell. You're only selling. Can I say this any more times than I've said it? You're only selling Bijan Chase and Chase Brown if you're getting the right proper exchange and value that makes you excited, even if Bijan Chase Brown and Jamar Chase continue to march on unaffected for the most part. You're still happy with your trade. Otherwise, you're not trading right. You're not trading properly. If you can't be happy with being wrong and still liking the trade, then you're making the wrong trade. JJ is a probably complete sell. I'd hold him unless I'm, if I'm getting good value, I'd sell him, but I'm not wanting to hold him. I'm also in the business of buying him from a panic Peter that's selling him at high-end wide receiver 3 value. So there's a bunch of ways to attack the JJ situation. Bijan, Chase Brown, again, could still do well. That's why there's a hold there. But I fear that the Bengals are going to fall apart. And if Browning's in there again 2-3 games from now, 1 game from now, 4 games from whatever, or if this situation just looks really, really putrid, I don't know what's in store for all these Bengal players. And you might say Joe Burrow's coming back no matter what, and that might be the case. But it was certainly a lot more optimistic that doctors would give him approval. He would have no roadblocks other than, himself wanting to come back. I think Joe Burrow's a competitor. He wants to get out onto the field. I don't think he wants to sit out and gain cobwebs all over his body. And fumble. Raiders pick it up. Raiders on the 14-yard line with the damn football. Let's get Genty a touchdown. Let's get Genty.
Mashed potatoes.
Can we get Genty a touchdown? Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask at this moment in time? This is from Dare Don't Love Him. Appreciate you for the $20 super chat, young man. Appreciate you very much.
Alert. Super chat alert.
CeeDee Lamb was looking for the ball. He's like, are you throwing it to me or are you not throwing it to me? Javonte trying to jump on that football. Got offered Jamar for Achane straight up. Well, does that, and I'm not trying to be a smart aleck here, my boy, but does that coincide with with holding Jamar Chase? You're getting an offer, my friend. What about, is that Crosby? Look at that move. Look at that. Look what he's doing. Crosby's just a genius when it comes to spatial awareness, the hunger, the drive, the determination of the man that is Max Crosby. Hold on one second. Hold that thought, my boy. But Dare Don't Love It. I mean, I'm literally begging you to go get Achane for Jamar Chase. So someone's offering you Jamar Chase. Why do you think that is? In the shotgun, Genting running a route, but he's running a route wide open, but Geno can't see him. Geno can't. He saw him out of the corner of his eye, wanted to throw to him, but he's just swarmed, gets sacked, goes down because the Raiders have no ability to block. It was going to Genty. It was going to Genty in the flat. Both these quarterbacks are stinking it up right now. In the shotgun. Oh, there it goes to Genty. Not for a great gain, but there's a PPR point. We'll take what we can get. Anyways, Dare Don't Love It. You're exactly the person I'm speaking about when I say go get an Achane using Bijan. Go get an Achane using Bijan. Bijan to get you Achane. That is a fantastic move right there, my boy. Only thing is you're on the other side of it. So the answer is no.
You've just been disappointed.
Jeez. Tucker almost had that. Not that I want a Tucker touchdown necessarily. Some of you might. But, you know, a game that might allow this team to throw the ball, that was an awful throw. It maybe it was an awful route as well, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you know what you could also say though is that Geno threw. In fairness to Geno, he threw it to a spot where it's at least incomplete, or like. To be honest with you, I feel like a great receiver would have turned and caught that, and then you would have said, "What a throw by the quarterback!" You know what I'm saying? Like if the receiver caught that, that's an amazing throw. Because the receiver looked so unorthodox trying to get to it, it looked like Geno threw an awful ball. I think you could easily, All right. So anyways, Don't Dare Love Him. I hope that you can find offer Jamar Chase. So backs are Chase Brown, Dowdle, and Judkins. Also got offered Javonte Williams for Olave and Alec Pierce. I don't hate that one. I would hover over that button tonight. If Javonte can't get it going, then there's a problem with the offense that might linger into the coming week. So hit that button if you're feeling really frisky about it after this game. So hover over that. Wide receivers are Olave, Devontae Smith, MHJ Pierce. Maybe MHJ and Chase Brown for one player. You know what I'm saying? MHJ and Chase Brown for Dowdle and something. For MHJ and Chase Brown for Rice, or maybe Buka. Something along those lines, my boy. Thank you for the super chat. I'm glad we were able to save your fantasy life tonight, because that would have been a devastating trade. Trade Achane for Jamar Chase. That's exactly what we're trying to get all of you to do tonight. Go trade your Jamar Chase for Achane. Good luck doing it, but it seems like it's possible because those offers are being considered. Harvey sold. Unless Aubrey gets 15, I dropped to 4-7. Jamar suspended next week. QB's Mahomes, Gibbs, Judkins, Chase Brown, Harvey, Chase, Adunze, Tet, Garrett Wilson, Worthy, Christian Watson. Got offered Buka and Loveland for Judkins and Tet. I would probably say Judkins and Tet is better, the combination. I wouldn't do that. I mean, Tet's playing really well. I do think Tet will go back down to earth clearly after this week. No one should be expecting these double touchdown, 100 yards every game performances. When someone has a game like that, everybody thinks that's the new norm, but it's still too much talent. Judkins by himself is a debatable piece. I'd rather have Buka than Judkins, but it's a debatable piece that can hang, and then you get a Tet on top of that, or you're sending it away. Buka, Loveland for Judkins, Tet, no. I would say probably moving, like, it's hard to move Garrett Wilson, I know. Garrett Wilson and Chase Brown for, like, one slightly safer running back, like Dowdle, like, you could even, I was going to say go after injured Jacobs if you wanted. James Cook, who still didn't have an explosive monster game. You have Judkins already. Depending on how Javonte does, you could do it for Hendy if you want to take a gamble on Hendy there. Let's go back to thank you H13, appreciate you. No, let me go back to this. Okay. Gibbs, Judkins, Brown. Also, you could potentially you could look to throw Worthy into any deal to get it done too. I don't know how attractive that's going to look, but look, a free Worthy to somebody struggling at their flex or their second flex might be something they consider. But H13, I would go after those moves. Do not trade Tet, and you could trade Tet and Judkins for one player, but I'd go like Lamb shopping or something. And if Lamb has a struggle bust day, and you could say that concerns you, but I would probably buy Lamb still after a struggle bust day at that price maybe. You could also potentially go after JSN and see if you can get that. But that's the kind of value. A Judkins and Tet can get you a top 3 wide receiver. And, Buka is close to that, but there's still some volatility that makes him more like 5 to 7. Half PPR, 6 and 5. Have May, Dart, Bijan, Achan, Harvey, Buka. Thank you, H13, and thank you, Dave.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Bunk bed double celebration there for both of you. Half PPR 6 and 5 have May, Dart, Bijan, Achan, Harvey, Buka, Pickens, Warren. Bench is AJB, Pearsall, Woody, Benson. I'm trying to get rid of AJB and Benson where there's value. Not that AJB is very valuable on his own, but when you couple AJB with someone, you can get things done. So like Bijan and AJB might get you into a safer Bijan. I'm not saying you get JT necessarily. I'm not saying you get Gibbs, but you start shopping right at that level. And if you have to go down to a James Cook, you can then introduce another receiver that you get back using AJB and Bijan for James Cook and a much better receiver than AJB. Or you could go heavy wide receiver, get a Dowdle as your anchor, and get some sort of a Buka type player or higher at wide receiver and shift the Bijan AJB value over to the heavy wide receiver and get a Javonte or a Dowdle type of player. That's probably what I would do, upgrade wide receiver. So that's should I expect for Bijan? Bijan, we don't know, as I said at the top of the show and last show and the last 2 shows of hammered home on my Bijan expectation. He's going to be 20%, maybe 15% less productive. It doesn't mean he won't get more volume. He'll certainly get at least the same volume, if not a little bit more, but I don't know what it's going to actually equate to. So hopefully that helps you, Dave. Thank you for the super chat, young man. You're the man, the myth, the legend. Dave to the moon. Should I trade JJ Andrews for Adams and Tracy? I probably would take Devontae Adams. There's risk involved in this, Chris. I mean, you just got to know that there's risk on all sides of it, but I'd probably rather lean on Adams than lean on JJ. PPR, Darnold, Rico, Hendy, ETN, Tootin, Tucker. Chat, vote on that. You'd rather have JJ, or rather have Adams than JJ right now, right? Darnold, Rico, Hendy, ETN, Tootin, Tucker, Puka, JSN, Rice, JJ, Adunze, Kate Otten. Would you do Rice, ETN for Gibbs? Yes. Absolutely, bro. 100%. Smash the hell out of that. Appreciate you. Sell Jefferson and Vidal for Chase Brown. Why are we going after Chase Brown right now? No. Jefferson and Vidal for Buka. Jefferson and Vidal for Rice. If you have one of those, then the other one. I don't believe I'm making the playoffs this year. Accidentally traded Henry for JJ. Accidentally traded Henry for JJ. How? But Zach, look, Henry did well last week. I know Henry still, a lot of people are doubting Henry, but it's not the worst trade in the world, though. I mean, JJ could rebound. Don't freak out and sell JJ improperly, but don't go buying Chase Brown, the one guy I'm telling people to get out of if they can safely get out of it. But JJ, I'm not selling JJ lightly. I'm trying to get Rice. I'm trying to get Buka. I'm trying to get St. Brown as well. St. Brown's a very, very good additional player to discuss and talk about at this level. Also got offered Genty and Nico for my Bijan. I'd take Genty and Nico for Bijan, I think. Chat, would you? You know what? Let's see how he does. Let's sit on that. Watch the game tonight. Genty could be neutralized. Or let's see what they do. Let's see what they do. Let's see what they do. Zach, calm down, my guy. Read the rest of it. Dude, it's about keeping him. Please read the rest of it. Come on, man. Zach, relax, my boy. I got it. Hold on. Where the hell is Zach super chat? I got it, Zach. We got it covered. Sell Jefferson and Vidal for Chase Brown. Okay, keeping Chase Brown round 6 next year. I don't believe it make the playoffs this year. Accidentally traded Henry for JJ. What am I missing? What did I get wrong? Keeping Chase Brown 6th round next year. Sell Jefferson and Vidal for Chase Brown. What am I missing though? You mean because you're keeping Chase Brown for a 6th round keeper that you want to just get rid of JJ and lose? But that doesn't mean that can you get more? Can you do a different deal? I don't know about trading into Chase Brown. I mean, I guess I would answer it this way. If you don't think another person's going to make a better trade with you, you can't get yourself a better piece. And I'm not saying I don't like Chase Brown for the future. The 6th rounder is good. But yeah, I guess I would take this. If I'm sorry if I didn't read it right. I'm sorry, Zach. But yeah, I see you. You just tell me once. Sometimes I'm moving fast, but I got it. I'd probably say, I'm afraid that if you do explore it and you don't get anything better, that you might miss out on it though. Chat, do you think he should try and get something better? I will say though, Gino and the Raiders advancing down the field. I will say though that there is a chance that this unravels for Chase Brown a little bit. I think 6th round is still really, really good. But would anybody risk that the Chase Brown offer could get pulled and go shopping and try and use JJ differently? And I assume JJ has no keeper value whatsoever, right? You have to just let JJ go. You didn't specify that, but I assume that. Would anybody just say, give me the Chase Brown value? I'll just take it into 2026. I think he's going to be very, very good keeper. Another throw. Brock Bowers. Nice reception. I guess I would... I guess I would take it, Zach. JJ's a 1st rounder. That's what I figured. I mean, if we get into our 2026 bag, we're going to love Chase Brown 6th round, I think. Anything can happen, though. The only reason I'm even saying that in like I'm not trying to be pessimistic on Chase Brown's future, but you got to remember, everybody was calling him trash. They knew Chase Brown wasn't electric and explosive. I knew Chase Brown wasn't going to be this and that. And all I'm saying is like that it got to a very dark place for Chase Brown prior to him bouncing back this year, where people were literally, they didn't even want him anymore. And I'm not saying I necessarily agreed. I didn't agree with it then, and I don't really agree with it now. But I think you could probably, I would assume, I just wonder if you could get better. Like, I just wonder if someone is willing to buy Justin Jefferson at something that's even better value than that. Hard to say. Genty catching a ball. Example, Genty's pretty cheap right now. In Dynasty, I still love Genty. Buka's really cheap now. People are wondering if Buka. Judkins is very cheap right now. Dowdle, even though he's 27 years old, turning 28, is still very cheap right now. Kyron Williams is always disrespected, especially in Dynasty. So all I'm saying is, maybe make sure you understand that JJ can't get you more from somebody that believes in the household name of JJ and they want JJ on their roster. Some people will trade for just the name, even 11 weeks in. So I would probably take Chase Brown at 6th round value. Do we know how everything's going to work out next year for him? No, we don't. But I would imagine he's going to be in a good position. 6 and 4 is Jefferson for Saquon. PPR, a good move. Zach, sorry I read your message wrong. 7 and 4 is Jefferson for Saquon and PPR, a good move. Not really. It's like even. Like, Barkley is a good buy low, but I don't know if Jefferson has fallen all the way down to the value that I like buying low on Barkley with. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know that he's in any worse situation. And if anything, he's getting probably more guaranteed touches because JJ's at the mercy of J9. So, yeah, Zach, I would rather have Judkins if you can have Judkins as a keeper value. My only concern is you do the trade for Chase Brown, and it seems like great. 6th round pick is pretty solid, But if you could get somebody else sleeping at the wheel, I just wonder if you could get something better because JJ's such a big name. Like even I want to trade for JJ if someone's giving him away. My eyes light up and I start thinking, what if JJ just turns back into an absolute stallion? Like you'll give up a lot to have J. Some people just want to look at their roster and say it's got JJ on it. Maybe he does bounce back this year. There's a chance he does. There's a chance he could be that's why he's an interesting buy and he's an interesting hold and he's an interesting sell. That I think JJ, and I'll put him on the board too. He's the one player. This is not related to the news today really, but I'll put him on the board. He's the one player that is a buy, a sell, and a hold. It just depends on the what angle you're coming from. Bucky's the same way. Buy, sell, hold. I could do all three. JJ, I could do all three. I would buy JJ right now. I would sell JJ right now. I would hold JJ right now. It just depends on the value we're looking at. So that's the only reason I said it. 7 and 4 is Jefferson for Barkley. Chat, can we vote Jefferson or Barkley? At least 10 votes for Lucas. Jefferson for Saquon and PPR. We assume redraft. Please vote JJ or Saquon. JJ or Saquon. Please vote. And then, guys, can we vote on this one more time? I didn't see the votes. Genty and Nico or Bijan? I need at least 10 votes on that one. Genty and Nico or Bijan? Please vote. I got 2 Barkley votes on that. 3 Barkley votes. Three Barkley votes. I got 1 Genty Nico vote. Got 1 Bijan vote. So this one's split so far. Bijan, Barkley. So Barkley seems to be winning that other one. So Barkley, JJ, people are leaning Barkley. And I kind of agree. And then Bijan's winning this one. I got to kind of agree too. I love Nico. I do. and I love Genty. This one, Dylan, hopefully the offer also got offered. So you're being offered. Hover over the button. If Genty explodes, push it. If Genty doesn't explode, keep Bijan. That's my advice to you. Ron, appreciate you with your super chat, my guy. PPR boys, I did a thing. Traded Bijan and Gadsden for Jonathan Taylor and Scary Terry. You definitely lambasted him, bro. Did you do well? You know you did well.
You've just been...
You don't have to rub it in, Ron. Ron just wanted to get a pat on the back. Ron, well, you got one.
You've just been...
6 and 5. Zach, let us know if there's another angle you can hit. I like the idea of Judkins. I think that could be pretty good. It's not that I don't like Chase Brown, bro. Chase Brown at 6th round value is pretty good. The more I even think about it, the more it's like, in 2026, in January, in February, are we going to be ecstatic about Chase Brown's 6th round value? I think so. I think we'd be ecstatic. Like, where would he go in a draft? Probably the 3rd round, maybe 4th round, 3rd or 4th round. So it's a 2-round value. It's, you know, I guess the only hesitation again is, can you get somebody that was drafted a lot later, like Judkins? I'm sure is where's Judkins going to be kept for free, practically, like double-digit rounds because he was probably drafted so late, or is the rookie value equating into his value? So like that would make a difference to me. You know, Dowdle's going to be practically free, and I'm not saying I like him from a long-term perspective, but with running backs and short shelf lives and all that, there's just so much other things to consider. Pickens making moves, Pickens making noise. Dak drops back, scrambles to the right, throws a football, caught by Pickens yet again. This is what Dak's got to get back to. Feed Pickens, feed Pickens, feed Pickens. He keeps trying to laser focus only on Lamb, and it's hurting Lamb. Like, if he feeds Pickens, Lamb's going to open up for a 40-yard touchdown strike. So let's keep it up. Let's keep feeding Pickens. Do it live. Judkins is drafted in the 6th round. Yeah, it's hard to say where. That's still good. I'd probably rather have Judkins than Chase Brown from a keeper perspective, I think, but it's pretty close. 6 and 5 with low points, so a must-win scenario. Traded Chase, Swift, and Alec Pierce for Kyron and Adams. I like that. That's Weather Dog. I think he did good on that one. I think that's the right move. Dylan, appreciate your super chat, young man. Dylan says, first place wide receiver injuries killing me. Mahomes, Purdy, Bijan, Kyron, Hendy, Tracy, London, BTJ, Garrett Wilson. Holy crap, bro. Dylan's not joking when he says he's been smashed with injuries at wide receiver. BTJ, London, Garrett Wilson. It's as bad as it gets. Worthy, Bowers. I love your Bowers. I think if you were to, you're in first place, London will return. Garrett Wilson probably could return. I won't for sure. BTJ will return. You're probably best to sit and hang tight and weather through it all, or you make the perfect Bijan trade. And the perfect Bijan trade could either be heavy wide receiver and a running back, or heavy running back with an extra wide receiver. And those deals would look like something along the lines of Rice or Bijan to Achane, if that's even, it might not even be a down, it might be the person that has Achane doesn't want to do that, but we just saw evidence earlier where somebody was being offered that on the channel and they were considering Bijan for their Achane. So if you could get like Achane and a receiver, Pickens would have been ideal, but if he continues to do what he's doing right now, he won't be able to be thrown in. But like Achane and something, Achane and JMO was doable now, maybe not. Ladd might be available now. I don't know what receivers the Achane owner has, but that's one avenue. Another avenue would be you go after Rice or Buka and then get that Dowdle type player. But that's a risk too, though. You know, like Bijan is a big dog. You know, you want to make sure you get the right, like Rice and Dowdle probably is worth it, but it also is not crazy to hold. Trade Hendy for Buka. I'd probably say yes. I hate trading Hendy, but I think in your receiver dilemma situation, that's a pretty good one. Stand down hope. Chat, can we get a Buka Hendy vote? I do think Hendy could outscore Buka going forward, though. It's really, really possible. But Buka is pretty nice. And if anybody's going to judge Buka off one game, when the game prior he just had 100 yards and a touchdown, it's wild to me. I still love Buka. But Hendy, would I in a vacuum like Hendy a little more? Maybe. But I think this is a great trade for you. Holding is also not a bad idea. Sometimes not doing anything is the right move. But I don't know. Let's see what the chat votes. Buka is probably pretty solid for you. I would say probably go get Buka. That would be my advice. Let's see what the chat thinks. Chat vote. Darnold, Rico, Hendy, ETN, Tootin, Tucker, Puka, JSN, Rice, JJ, Adunze. Would you do Rice and ETN for Gibbs? Oh, I just answered that one. Yes, I would. I'd rather give up JJ, though. But I definitely would do that. Thank you for the question. Tyler, appreciate you, my boy. Smitty, do I trade Rice and Aaron Jones for Hendy and JJ? Rice and Aaron Jones for Hendy and JJ. Rice and Aaron Jones for Hendy and JJ. Wow, Pickens, he caught it, but I don't think he was in. He's doing something. I don't know if he's saying he almost had it. Oh, yeah, he's out. Wow, what a catch. If only Dak threw it a little better. He's saying you escaped by this much is what Pickens is trying to say. Pickens is such a good receiver. He is such a good receiver. Damn, that was close. Damn, that was close. Zach, did you have any other ideas? Let me know. I ain't mad at you, bro. I was trying to let you know that I saw it. I sometimes make mistakes, but it's not like I'm trying to make the mistake, bro. Lamb touchdown. Do it. Get lammed.
Get lambed. Get lambed.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Let's go, bro. Smitty, do I trade Rice and Aaron Jones for Hendy and JJ? I take Hendy and JJ, I think, bro. I do. I still have JSN, J-Mo, then Chase Brown, Harvey with Allen at QB, and just got Warren at tight end. Yeah, I would do that. I would probably try and trade Chase Brown and JJ after that for like one big dog, potentially. And then you're trading Rice and Chase Brown for Hendy and that big dog, but I definitely would do that trade. I think it's a pretty good move, bro. I hate getting rid of Rice, but Hendy and Rice are close, and you get JJ, and then you're not expecting the world from JJ, but if he delivers. See, that's where I buy JJ. I buy JJ at that value. He's like throwing JJ in for free. Traded Tet and Debo for Pickens and Benson. Well, I think right now people are going to say it's an L, but that's because Tet just exploded. But you don't get any of those points. You're not giving him any of those points. You get them. You're keeping them. And there is a world where Tet goes back to, normal 60 and a good chance for a touchdown. 70 good. That's good. That's awesome. Ted's playing great right now. But I'd probably say, depending on what Pickens does here, and Benson's a very, very, very nice option going forward. Once he's back, I think it could be very even, but I don't think either one of you made out in the trade. I think you both broke even. There's pros and cons. London for Dowdle straight up, yes. I mean, I got that literally right here on the board, bro. Yeah, Rice, Buka, Dowdle straight up for London. Do it. It's just a safe move. I have Judkins, Loveland, Woody, Tootin. I'd only be comfortable offering in a 2-for-1. Would London for Henry or Dunze straight up work? London for Henry or Dunze. No, I mean, I guess Henry. London for Henry is okay. There's risk there. I mean, one moment he looks great, Henry, and the other moment he doesn't. So I think he's definitely winding down. But we never want anybody to draft Henry or Barkley. at their draft value this year. Those are two big busts that have crushed people. But trading for them at their newfound value is intriguing, and it still remains to be so. And it will be until the end of time. Even if they both bust, you're buying them at seller-dweller pricing. I mean, now, selling London for Henry is not seller-dweller pricing. But London's injury changes a lot of things, right? So I'm okay doing this. I'd almost want to take like a Dunze and Henry. Look, a Dunze didn't... Bucky, don't trade London for a Dunze. A Dunze didn't do anything. And he's had many games like that. And Caleb ignores him entirely for games at a time. So you should be getting both players, really, for London, honestly. And if not Henry, it's not the end of the world. Based off my league, my Bijan Hendy for Genti Nico Buka. Based off my league, my Bijan Hendy for Genti Nico Buka. Bijan and Buka, I'd rather have Bijan. Nico and Hendy, I think, could be looked at as even. And then you get Genti to try and close the gap between Bijan and Buka. It's pretty even, bro. If Bijan can stay playing amazing football, despite his situation, Bijan and Hendy win out. Chat, can you vote on this one here? Bijan and Hendy or Genti Nico Buka, please. Yeah. Roman, be nice, bro. Bijan Hendy, Bijan Hendy, Bijan Hendy, Genti Buka. I know you need a wide receiver, bro, but it doesn't mean it make it the right trade. You're the one with the wide receiver injuries. I know, bro. It looks like the vote's straight Bijan Hendy. It's not the worst trade in the world. Guys, he's the one that has all the wide receiver injuries. But again, like, you're going to get your receivers back. You are in first place, Dylan. You know? So I don't know that it's something I force. Oh, it's a horrible throw. God, Dino's awful. He's so awful. I'm going to go Bijan Hendy. Dylan, I think there's better deals. I know you need a receiver, but that's not the move. And we're just watching Genti just get completely misused again. Deadline tonight, QB Hurts, Darnold, Gibbs, Achane, Hall, Benson, Hunt, Tank, Pickens, Ladd, Ricky, Tez, McBride, Gadsden. Suggestions. Can I win with this team? I would probably say you can. There we go. All I had to do was talk some trash, and Genti rips off a big long run. That's what we need. The anti-trash talk here. Zach says Genti, Nico, Buka, I think. 3-star players. I just hope we can get Genti to play like a star player, though, Zach. I agree with you, obviously, but can we feed the man like we just did? Is that acceptable? Can we keep giving him the football? Throw it to him too. He dropped it. He dropped it. Genti, you're not gonna keep getting fed like this. He's the kind of guy that can make up for it, though. God, that really hurt. That was a nice. That was about a 2.5 point play. That was about a 2.5 point play. Throw it to him again. Give him a chance. No, they get sacked. That's the way to go. Let's just get sacked. That's a lot better. It wasn't a 3-yard catch rare. He would have taken it at least 5 to 10 more yards down the field. It'd have been at least a 2.5 point play. Throw it to him. Throw it to him. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Throw it to him. Drops it again. I mean, he got hit, but still. It was a horrible hospital ball. I don't like, and it was low. It was really low. And then Genty, while he was grabbing it in defense, was getting absolutely about to be leveled. So we had to try and take the hit. Gino's just trash. He's trash. I blame that on Genty. Genty's got to take ownership of those 2 drops. But, I mean, Genty's like having to worry about his surroundings so much on that very lagged throw. You know, Pete Carroll should be fired for just even thinking Gino is the guy. I mean, that's a fireable offense. Christopher, deadline tonight. QB, Hurts, Darnold, Gibbs, Achane, Hall, Benson, Pickens, Ladd, Ricky, Tez, McBride, Gadsden suggestions. I like your team a lot. I would definitely try and move Hall or Benson or both with, let's say, Ricky Parasol or whatever, just to try and get that receiver in there. Hall could get you Buka right now. Hall could get you, I don't think he'll get you like a St. Brown or Nico or anything, but Adams, you could get Adams for Hall right now. I think those would be, Christopher, those would be fantastic moves for your team. Good balance. Very even trade value. Olave and Kyron Williams for Bijan, not enough. I know Olave deserves a little damn respect, but I'm not doing that. Rick, appreciate you. What's up, Smitty? Lost London, no more trades. 7-3. Am I okay with Dart, Nix, Daniels, Achane, Dowdle, Brees, Harvey, Collins, Jamo, Adunze, Tyler Warren? I think so, bro. I mean, obviously, when London comes back, that will help you, but you're 7-3. You're kind of in, I would say, coast mode to make the playoffs. You're trying to get a good seed. I get it. But, yeah, London will be back. And I'm not saying London's great with Kirk Cousins, but you should have London back. I don't think London's going to be out for the year, but I think he could miss 1 or 2 games. Could miss 2 to 3 games, but it's hard to say. I imagine London's out at least 1 to 2 games minimum. But you're fine. I know there's no trade advice I can give you, but I'd say you have a really good team. I mean, Achane and Dowdle and Brees is pretty damn good, bro. And Harvey does get on his horse. You can wait to use him. You have a bye week to hear about all the news and what Sean Payton might say about him. Like, he's going to get fed. Like, if we hear something like that, we'll be so excited. I know people will be doubting it still, but Collins and Jamo and Adunze is pretty damn good. Adunze's sketchy, but solid wide receiver 3 still. Rick, I think you got a real good chance. I'd say you're definitely a top 4 or 5 team in your league without even looking at the rosters. Thank you very much. And this one from Dylan. Dylan, appreciate you. Odds Bucky is back next week. You mean this coming up week? I'd say with the emergence of Sean Tucker, I would say like 65, 70%. I probably would have said 80% had Sean Tucker done horribly and Rachaad White done nothing. But I think they might consider another week just because of Sean Tucker looking so good. Healthy roster. I'm trying to Godfather offer for they can't refuse. Chase and Bucky owner. Thinking of Rome and Henry because he needs to win out. For what though? For Jamar Chase? I mean, I guess I would trade Rome and Henry for Jamar Chase, but I'm still not excited about Jamar Chase as much as I was. I'd still trade for him. Again, he's a buy, a sell, and a hold essentially. But I don't know. Bucky, I like Bucky a lot. Would I trade Henry and Rome for Bucky if I'm like 7 or 8 wins and I'm coasting? I probably would rather have Bucky, yes, Dylan. Bucky's probably a more attractive piece for your roster. Appreciate all the super chats and appreciate all of you. All right, guys, I'll be back for the wrap-up show. Appreciate all your super chats. Thanks to Dylan, to Joe, to Dylan, to Rick, to Christopher, to Lucas, to Christopher, to Bucky, to Dave with a $20 holler. Dylan, H13 with a $20 holler. Zach, appreciate you. Zach, I hope you're not mad at me. I love you, pal. Tyler, Dare Don't Lovin'. Thank for the 20 Lovin'. Appreciate that. Original, thank you for the super chat. Chris, Dylan, the Weather Dog, and Ron. Ron, nice trade, bro. Thank you all. Pickens is doing work tonight, it looks like. What's Pickens' line? Let's see here. Game's kind of like a boring game that might have potential to open up. I think I need to end the live stream. Usually when I end the live stream, things happen. Dirt ball. Was that in the ground? They're going to have to look at that one again. That looked like I might have hit the ground. Let's see. Ferguson may have caught that. That was really low. Dak was kind of getting hit. Did that hit the ground? Yep, I knew it. I could see it from a mile away. That ball hit the ground. I knew it. I knew it from the first look. The thing bounced on the ground first before it even got in his hands. What are they doing? Javonte Williams, good yards per carry. 38 yards on 8 carries. Pickens, 4 for 57. Lamb's got the touchdown and 18 yards. Bowers, 2 for 35. Genty, 2 carries, 10 yards, but adding 2 catches for 1 yard. 5. What was his targets? 4 targets. Pickens doing more work. Pickens grabbing another one. All right, guys. I'll see you after for the wrap-up show. Appreciate every single one of you. By the way, Fuego Player of the Week is going to be, real quickly, let me just show you guys a sticker. Fuego Stickers just sent me a batch of stickers. These are all from Fuego Stickers. They just sent me a bunch of these. I'll be sending some out too. I've got more than this. I just grabbed it. But we've got these stickers from Fuego Stickers. I'll be sending these out to, we'll do some giveaways and such. But here are these stickers right here. And then we have the headphone sticker. So I'll be sending these out. I'll be doing like some random giveaways on Instagram and on YouTube and such. Probably through the Patreon as well. So I'll be getting some addresses and sending out some stickers. You guys can do some guerrilla marketing as well. FuegoStickers.com. You can see Fuego Stickers in the top left corner. Official sticker provider of the Fantasy Football Show right now. Use code Smitty for 10% off if you want to make your own custom stickers. And then we're going to have the Fuego Player of the Week moving forward. The Fuego Player of the Week was Hendy this week, celebrating his glory. And then the also for those that so the Fuego
the Player of the Week, brought to you by Gunner.com.
This is a predictive. Gunner's the predictive player of the week. Fuego is the celebratory player of the week. So 2 different players of the week. Bijan was our predictive player of the week, and he had a fantastic day. Question is, what's in store for Bijan moving forward? I don't know. Core board, get that as well. Core board at stoicinnovations.com. Code Smitty. See you all for the wrap-up show. Appreciate all of you.